let's give this Jeep a tune-up. Here's the parts we're gonna be using today. Gonna be cleaning my air filter. Gotta rep that K&N. Gotta love these little kits. They're like 14 bucks. It's got the oil and the cleaning solution in it. We got double Iridium spark plugs. It'll actually go really good with my last video. I'll have an annotation to it. It's actually how to install new fuel injectors in your Jeep Wrangler for the 2.5 liter. It's basically the same thing for the 4.0 as well. But I actually got the 4-pin fuel injectors compared to the single pin, where the 4-pin basically just mists, where the single pin, which was stock in this, just kind of squirted and it didn't give you that good of a burn. Next up, we got this high performance ignition, and we'll get into everything later. Then I got some high performance spark plug wires from AC Delco. I went to Rock Auto for all these parts, not sponsored by them. That would actually be really cool if they could sponsor me. Anyways, then I got Airtex, which is supposed to be a high performance distributor cap. Who really knows, you know, it's a distributor cap. They're basically all the same, no? It says Certified Performance XP. We'll see if we notice something. And lastly, I got a Mopar Rotor. It seemed like the best one they had, so let's start working on this. Oh, and I got the little gasket for the cap and rotor as well. Not sure if I really need that, but in case I do, it's like $2 or something. This is the really nice thing about a Jeep. You can have the hood go up all the way. Just want to make sure you get something to, you know, secure it, so in case the wind comes, it doesn't come falling down on your head. That wouldn't be good. First thing we're going to do is remove the airbox. So let's grab this tool right here. I used it in the previous video as well. Basically, there's just this screw here. Just going to unscrew that. And you're going to unscrew that bolt or screw right there. Okay, I decided to just go get a screwdriver. It's way easier. There's that. To remove this hose on the back, just pop right off. It's a little hot, so damn, that was hot. All right, so now that's off. Let's move this out of the, oh, that is hot. Ooh. Black in the sun. Not a good time, not a good time. Son of a bitch. Oh. Okay, yeah, that was really hot. Gotta be careful working in the sun with black stuff. It gets hot. Probably grab a paper towel, shove it in here just to make sure nothing gets in there. I just cleaned it in the previous video as well. All right, we'll just shove that right in there. Just like that. Just make sure nothing falls in there. Should be good. All right, let's come around to this side, and we got, okay, 2 of my latches weren't engaged. None of my latches, what the? Pretty sure I batchened it down the last time I opened it up. Well, let's remove that. Inside doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty clean, actually. Again, I'll just set it down there. All right, let's take out the filter and see what it looks like. Pretty dirty, pretty dirty. Now, honestly, I'm not sure if I actually cleaned this since last summer or not. So this could be about a year. Yeah, it's pretty dirty, so let's get this thing cleaned up. Got a piece of cardboard, just gonna throw that on there. Let's go get the cleaning solution. Let's get this thing ripped open. There we go. And now we're gonna start with the cleaner, of course. So here's the instructions if you guys don't have the box, but you have the stuff and you're just wondering, blam, just like that. So yeah, just apply the cleaner, rinse the filter, dry the filter, and then oil the filter. As simple as that. Simple as 4 steps. I'm just gonna shake this up. Just gonna get this pretty wet. I wanna make sure I get this all cleaned up. Flip it over. Okay, so I got this all over my hands, and I'm reading the bottle. It says, don't breathe, mist, spray, vapors, wash hands thoroughly. I've just been wiping this all over my pants. Okay, I'm gonna go wash my hands, I guess. All right, let's wash her off. So this is the inside of the air filter, and this is the outside. So basically the airflow goes the opposite direction of this. So you wanna go the opposite direction. The airflow goes this way, so we want to be pushing the water this way. So basically, you just want to go opposite of the airflow. Make sure nothing gets lodged into it. And you just add a little pressure to it. However you want to do it, just make sure you get it all cleaned off. But yeah, so I was looking at the bottle. It said severe skin burns and eye damage. So yeah, I made sure I washed my hands. Didn't realize that. I thought it was just soap. Now that she's all washed off, I'm just gonna put her upside down and let her dry off in the sun. So I just noticed the airbox is a little dirty, so I'm just gonna get a wet cloth and just wipe it down really quick. So basically it gets a good seal up here when we put the air filter back in. One more thing I'm gonna do, as you can see, this hole is pretty small. This is the intake. This is the air box. That's just a waste of space. I'm gonna rip this thing out so this thing can get as much air as possible, because right now this is really restricting the airflow. So with this, you just kind of twist it until it's about like that, and then it just pops right out. There we go. I mean, look at this. This is the intake. This is the exhaust section of the intake. Like, it's just so much bigger. Look how big that hole is now. Gets so much more airflow. There's one more thing that I forgot to mention that I'm installing, is a new belt. We need 15 millimeter right here. This one will work, and then this one will work for the other one. So there's two spots. There's this one we need to loosen up. That's, again, 15 millimeter. Here, that's 15 millimeter as well. So first thing we're gonna do, gonna take our wrench, and we're gonna just put it right on here. You know, I'm gonna take my watch off before I scratch it up, but basically you're just gonna loosen this up here. That's pretty good. And then we'll loosen up this belt with the extended socket. Once the belt is loosened, you can come over here and slide it right off of there and pull this old belt off. Now that we got the belt off, we're just gonna loosen these up. They're actually coming off pretty easily. And then we'll just slide this thing out of the way so we can get to the spark plugs. Let's get this power cable off, and now this is loose, so I'm just gonna slide it out of the way. Just right there. That should be good enough to get inside here now. Before we start ripping out all these wires, I made a quick diagram right there. That's the cap. That's that. So let's get started. We're gonna be gapping the spark plug. Now it says right on the engine there, it's a 0.035 gap. We just pulled out the old rotor and we're putting in the new one. Just slides right in. So to get these new wires on, we just basically match the wires up from the old one, make sure they're the correct length, and then put them on the cap. So to get to the ignition coil, it's right down here. You need to remove this electrical wire. And then there's two bolts at the bottom. As you can see, this is the new high performance ignition coil. And it's facing this way in the engine. So we're gonna have to remove these two bolts, and it should come right out. Just a little tricky to get to. Got all the spark plugs removed. Here they are. These are the old ones. I replaced the spark plugs when I first got the Jeep about a year and a half ago. But these are platinums. The new ones are double iridium. So let's just go and put these in. Again, you're gonna wanna use spark plug socket. This is 5/8. So we got this back tightened on, and basically to get the belt on, you just gotta follow that diagram. And I mean, I can't really help with that. Let's start her up and see what happens. Now before we're done, we gotta spray the filter with the oil. So there we go. Just, you know, spray it on there. Probably using more than needs to be done, but I always like to use a little extra. That should be good. And we'll flip it over. And there we go. All right, I got her all put back together. Basically, don't forget the one screw there and the one screw right there. Okay, so I know there's one thing I didn't do, the ignition coil. There wasn't too much room to get in there today, and the sun's starting to go down. So I'm not gonna do that on camera, but all you gotta know is there's just the two screws on the bottom there, and basically that's it. You just gotta worry about those. Then you can remove it, put the new one in, pretty easy, just hard to get to, hard to show on camera, but it's doable. There's just 2 bolts and that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. That really does help me out when you do that. Have a great day and see you next time. Maybe consider subscribing if you haven't already.